Hey, this is Amanda with Flint AI. If you've been utilizing our activities tab with your students, then you've noticed that Sparky will provide some automatic feedback and suggested grades. But did you know that there's actually a way for you to reconfigure the way that Sparky is grading your students? Today, what I want to discuss is the two methods that you can go about editing your grading rubric or manually creating one. Now, to get started, we're going to go into the activities tab and we're going to open up any activity. So here we have writing strong claims, right? What led to emancipation? So I'm going to come into the activity settings and you can see here that I've created an activity that is designed to have differentiated scaffolding for ELL level students between levels 2 and 4. So if I simulate the session, you will see the student is going through the flow and we'll see that Sparky comes up with some strengths, areas, and areas of improvement. What we want to do is essentially focus on this here. Number one, how this should be graded. Now you can see that Flint provides some suggestions. If this is graded, right, then it can add a rubric going from an excellent claim, proficient, developing, right? If not, we can just keep it up as practice with feedback only. In this case, I do want this activity graded, so let's configure how I want the students graded. Now, you can see here that I'm letting Flint know that I'd like my students graded, so please include a grading rubric, right? That's assessing their written responses on excellent, proficient, approaching, and developing. Let's see what comes up. Now, you can see that it has provided exactly how it's going to grade the students. So essentially it generated a grading rubric for me with the criteria. Now it's letting you know here whether you're ready to test. Now we're going to simulate the process again. This is a level 3 student and it's asking the level so it knows how to scaffold. Let's see what it generates. You can see here that it graded the student excellent with strengths as well as areas of improvement. Now I simulated a session that would be excellent, so that makes a lot of sense. From here, of course, I can edit this grading rubric. For example, these are ELL students, they're English language learners. So something that could potentially be assessed and should potentially be assessed is grammar, right? If they're learning English, then one of the things that the rubric can also assess for is not just the claims themselves, but also the grammar that the students are utilizing. Now I want to hop into how to manually add in a rubric so that Flint can essentially utilize one that's already in existence to grade your students. Now, in this case, instead of building with Sparky, I can come ahead and build manually. So we already have the summary of everything here, as well as the grade level. And it's pulling all of this information from the other side, right? We have our suggested levels, the messaging. We can continue on here. And now here in grading, I can always add a rubric. So I'm going to remove these. And what I'm going to do is add a manual rubric. So if I were to pull up my ELL rubric, then you can see I can fill in what my rubric states. Now this is an actual ELL rubric. It's broken down by exemplary, accomplished, developing, and beginning. And then what I can do is fill in what the criteria is for these differing sections. And then from there, once I update the activity, then Sparky will know exactly what grading rubric to utilize to provide both feedback and grades for the students. Thanks so much for joining this session. Hope you find it helpful.